Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks Network Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US 30, sell it, okay? I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please, secure.
Good morning, welcome everyone. Everyone's having a great day. We're gonna get started in just a couple minutes. I'm just setting up YouTube and we're gonna get going. We got US Core PCE price index. We have big earnings today, Apple and Amazon. We're running off of Microsoft and Meta last night. Amazing earnings, all-time highs in the markets, and tomorrow morning is NFP. And we just ran over 100 pips on this SST signal. Wow, guys, I've already hit my daily goal with this. That was a nice sell, clean sell too. If you guys are in the sell signal, guys, again, look at the level we just dropped down to, right in there. Secure something. And, let's see what we do today.
Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks Network Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US 30, sell, okay? I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please, secure it.
Recording in progress.
Hey, welcome everyone. Good morning. Thanks everyone for joining Stocks Network Trading. My name is Ron. My partner is Dave, and it is 7 a.m. first. So it is the last day of the trading month. Wow, what a month of July it's been! And tomorrow is Friday, the first Friday of the month, and it's NFP tomorrow morning. So it's a busy week. We told you from the start of the week it's going to be an intense week. Lots of news, lots of big earnings, and the week is not over yet, guys. So I'm super excited. What a week it's been. It's been great. Let's continue taking this momentum into today and to tomorrow. And again, just a little housekeeping reminder. Some of you guys are above your weekly goals. There's a couple of you guys in the group that are above your monthly goals. Okay. So what I recommend is today, you take some of that money and go to a nice restaurant and sit down and have a nice steak and think about this, okay? Think about this while you're eating that steak. Think about how you're going to compound that money now. Don't go risking it all on NFP tomorrow so you can lose it all. You got an amazing cushion now. You got a good head start, and now it's all about compounding and using the smartest risk management you can use. Because if you lose 1 or 2% here or there, it's okay. You're still well ahead. Now you can really start to compound this and start going. So shout outs to all of you guys that are having a fantastic week and month. And it's the summer months. That's what I cannot believe. It's the summer months right now. We're still in July and August, and not even in August. June, July, and August are traditionally the shittiest times with volume and lack of traders and a lot of choppiness. And we're actually getting some really good trading months in these summers. So That's amazing, guys, because the volume gets better as we head into September, October, and November, and going into the Santa Claus rally in December. So congratulations, guys. This is our SST sell signal that was sent out earlier this morning. The early bird gets the worm is what they say. So if you're up early and you caught this, congratulations. We had a sell signal at the break of this structure at 3305 on gold, and you can see it just kind of filled up this imbalance right back down to 3298 right here, and you had that bar close below, flipping the zone to red. Now we're coming back up, but notice where we got the wick. We got the wick right at the black line. Where did I get this black line from? If you look back, look at this structure where the 5 minutes came down, went back up, came down, went back up, came down, went back up, and there it is, 110 pips total, and the buyers are coming in again right down into here. So if you guys grab some of that, wow, like that could be your daily goal right there, before we even start the call, you're done for the day. So it's unbelievable, guys. Shout outs to everyone doing a good job. Shout outs to everyone managing their risk, and shout outs to everyone being disciplined and patient, and really now starting to put the pieces of the puzzle together and learning how trading actually operates and works. Okay, so congrats to all of you guys, but continue working hard at this. Okay, just because maybe you get a little bit of ahead doesn't mean you get cocky now in the ego and you start over leveraging and things like that. Remain patient, remain disciplined, and stay on your lane and watch your account grow slowly. Okay, let's get started. Welcome everybody. Good morning. We've got a busy day ahead of us. So what we're going to do is we will be doing gold. We'll come back. We'll do a full, thorough top-down analysis. Then as we lead into New York Wall Street, we'll look at NASDAQ and US 30 over here. Right now, we've got to go through the news, okay? Because we got to know what is going on news-wise. Yes, we can come in and trade every day and just start looking at the candlesticks and do some analysis and start trading. But it's always helpful to know what's coming news-wise, okay? Because then this is how you can adjust your risk throughout the day. We've already had, if you guys remember yesterday, we had FOMC, okay? Pretty good FOMC. Powell maybe hinted, kind of wink, wink, hinted that September, there could be some rate cuts coming. The economy is looking good. GDP was good. Labor market is looking good. Inflation is intact, coming from his words. And so there could be a possible rate cut coming in the next FOMC in September. So that's good news. We also had earnings in the after hours. Meta hit it out of the park. Microsoft hit it out of the park. We're possibly going to see new all-time highs on Microsoft. And then today we also have Apple and Amazon earnings in the after hours. Okay, so and then tomorrow morning NFP, and what a week it's going to be. Okay, so we already had some European news. We also had some Bank of Japan news. They had their rate also released last night in the Tokyo session. And we see how the volume was moving into Europe. There was some European news. There was also a Bank of Japan press conference. Canada over here, we held rates too at 2.75. US, they held 4.5. So that's going around the world. A lot of steady rates holding right now. Hopefully the markets are getting stronger. That's good. Good global economy is great for everybody. And then we got out of Europe, and now we're coming into North American news. Okay, so we kick off again, guys. 8:20 is the commodities exchange, COMEX. That's when the exchange opens up for gold, silver, and other precious metals. And then 10 minutes later, we have 8:30 a.m. Eastern. We have some Canadian GDP month over month. I live in this beautiful country of Canada. I'd like to see what our GDP is doing month over month over here. I think it's increasing as well. Carney's made some good trade deals with other countries other than US, more than we've ever had. So I'm sure that that's bringing in some good surplus of money into Canada. That's great. We'll see what happens. Hopefully an agreement can happen with our neighbors next door with Donald Trump, and an agreement can come out of there, and we can get back to regular scheduled programming and continue working these economies, okay? But we do have some red US folders, okay? We got some big ones. We have core PCE price index month over month. Last month, 0.2. They're forecasting an increase of 0.1 to 0.3. So if you don't know what this is, guys, real simple, like keep trading very simple. Just click on the folder and it will tell you in detail about what this folder is. So core, remember the word core, it's got to exclude possibly something. And what is PCE price index? You click on it. It comes from the Bureau of Economic Analysis. Not too many people really care about where it comes from. They're more interested in what does it measure. It's the change in the price of goods and services purchased by consumers. You and I are consumers. We purchase things. But the core of this one, meaning it's everything that we buy, excluding food and energy. Normally, food and energy is the biggest things that we purchase. Gasoline, heating your home is energy. Food, obviously, when we're eating food. So this reading excludes that, okay? Everything else. So actual greater than forecast is good for the US currency. It differs from core CPI in that it only measures goods and services targeted towards and consumed by individuals. Prices are weighting according in total expenditure per item, which gives important insights into consumer spending behavior. CPI is released about 10 days earlier and tends to garner most of the attention. Why do traders care? It's the Federal Reserve's primary inflation measure. So this is what Powell is looking at. This is the primary measure that he says inflation is going down, inflation is going up. He looks at this, okay? Inflation is important to currency valuation because rising prices lead the central bank to raise interest rates out of respect for the inflation containment mandate. So if this is looking good, then September's rate, hint, hint, wink, wink, cut of 0.25% basis point looks highly likely. So hopefully that's the case. Okay, so that's what we got going on at 8:30. That's coming in. We also have employment cost index. Okay, I'll let you guys read the detail, and you guys got to educate yourself a little bit too as to what this is. It looks like it's a decrease from the previous month from 0.9. They're forecasting 0.8. These could be mixed results in here. And then finally, we have our weekly unemployment claims. This comes out every single Thursday at 8:30 in the morning, unless there's a U.S. bank holiday. It could be released the day before on Wednesday. Normally, it's always every Thursday morning, and these are week over week. Tomorrow, we're going to get our monthly NFP. This is week over week. So last week, the actual results that came in were 217,000. This week, week over week, from last week to this week, they're forecasting an increase of 5,000 more individuals are applying for unemployment to 222,000. We'll see if this number is close to 222, if it's below 222, or it's above 22. Remember, that's just what they're above, below, or at their forecast. We also have to look from last week. Is it increasing substantially? Like, let's say this comes out 230,000. It's much bigger than the forecast, and it's a lot bigger than last week. So then that would come in red. If it's, let's say, 215,000, that would come in green. Why? Because it's below the forecast and it's below last week. So that means less individuals are applying for unemployment. That again would be good for the US currency. Okay, so these are the pieces of the puzzle that we put together, and then we follow price action. And then after that, we do have some personal income, personal spending folders coming out, low impact in the US. We walk into Wall Street, then at 9:45 we got Chicago PMI. We have natural gas storage coming out later, and then you see we have nothing this afternoon, and then we move into the Tokyo sessions. And we also have in the after hours, what I'm going to talk about real quick is we're going into earnings. Okay, so earnings, pre-market, we have pre-market earnings and we have after hours earnings. There is so many pre-market earnings today. Like, I can continue scrolling down and I won't stop scrolling because there's so many look at this. Have you ever seen a day this busy? Holy shit. Like, look, I'm still scrolling down. This is all today. Like, this is unbelievable. These are all these are corporations, the S&P 500 It's comprised of 500 corporations, and you can see how busy the stock markets are. These are all individual securities, Shell gas station, all of these things, Canada Goose Holdings. If you want to trade these specific corporations, you can trade them through options. If they do have options available, you can buy shares of these companies. Look at Ferrari right there. Some of you guys want to make some pips to buy a Ferrari. We trade Ferrari. I don't need to drive it, I can trade it. Over here, you got all kinds of things going on. But look at the top of the list. This is where you kind of get the bigger names. CVS Health, pretty big name. Roblox, that's a big name for kids. My daughter is playing this all day long. Or you can even invest in Roblox. MasterCard, okay? Visa, MasterCard, big names. Credit card companies, Norwegian Cruise, that's what we got. Okay, so some companies in the pre-market are reporting, but when we go into the after hours, this is when things get real spicy today. After hours, remember, it's the last day of the month, so the option chains and things like that, and then if you trade the futures, you're going to have rollovers and all of that, and then tomorrow we start a fresh new month. So today, when we talk about like daily candles and weekly candles and hourly candles and 5-minute candles, you will have a monthly candle closing today. So I would recommend, if you got 20 minutes today after the markets close, have a look at the monthly candles on the specific securities that you trade and just take a look at it. Is it a monthly spin top? Is it a monthly bullish engulfed candle? Is it a bearish engulfed candle? Is it a pin bar? Did it break any highs or lows? And just do your research and have a sort of bias going into the month of August, okay? So I love scalping. I probably scalp more than a lot of you guys on this call on the 1 minutes, but I also look at every single monthly candle on close. Why? Because it can help me understanding how or what bias I'm going to trade in the month of August, okay? So keep that in mind, guys. And then look at the after hours today, okay? So these are some pretty big names. These are some of the biggest corporations in the entire world. Excuse me. We have Apple. Let me just drink some coffee here because I'm going to choke. We have Apple reporting at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, after hours. Apple is earnings per share estimates $1.42 and a revenue of $88.5 billion. Okay, we'll see if they exceed that, if it's a disappointing, and more importantly, the forward guidance. Okay, listening in on the conversation. I will be listening in. I am an Apple shareholder. I have been Apple shareholder since 2008, and I'm going to continue to be an Apple shareholder because I benefit from forward stock splits. I benefit. It's not a dividend security, but it pays a little bit. But I believed in Apple in early 2008, and I still believe in Apple today. All of my products I use are Apple. So I use the company. I want to be a shareholder of the company. Okay, so you can do that with various companies, but just do your due diligence. Know what you're investing in. Amazon is another big name. Okay. They're looking at earnings per share and revenue coming in. You are a consumer. You consume, hopefully, Amazon. You buy stuff. You know the delivery, next day delivery. It's right on your porch. And these things are busy. They've actually shut down malls and outlet retail stores and things like that. I hate going to the mall. I only go to have fun with my kids and things like that. But for me to go to the mall, you'll never see me going to the mall. I'll order on Amazon and it's delivered the next day. I can continue doing my stuff, So are they going to have you been following them quarter over quarter? Are they going to have increased revenue? Have they done anything lately? Something new? But listen, forward guidance, maybe tariffs could be hitting Amazon. That could be what shareholders are listening to. A lot of their products come from China and things like that. So how will they be affected going through with tariffs? So that's what also you want to listen in, because that could be a different forward guidance. Okay. And then we have MicroStrategy. I'm invested in this company as well. I trade this company. You better believe I'll be listening to this. This could be the first earnings that they're gonna surprise the Wall Street. They got them at negative 0.12 earnings per share. But that was they never included Bitcoin on the balance sheet. This is the first time that Michael Saylor might release their Bitcoin holdings, and they're in the billions of dollars of profit with holding Bitcoin. And he added another 2.5 billion purchased Bitcoin. I think it was yesterday or the day before, prior to their earnings. So, they keep accumulating. If you like Bitcoin, and the reason why I like this is because I can trade this in my tax-free savings account. So I can get exposure to Bitcoin, but I can do it in my Canadian tax-free savings account, and all interest I make on this is tax-free. So if you live in Canada, guys, look into your tax-free savings account. Canada is one, I believe there's only a few countries in the world that allow you to invest and have tax-free. So this, for me in Canada, this is unbelievable because everything I do in Canada trading-wise is taxed heavily. So for all the Canadians out there, take a look at this. And if you haven't invested in your tax-free savings account, it was introduced in 2008, and now it's compounded. If you haven't used it, because every year you can add 5,000, then it got increased to 10,000. But since 2008 to now, it's, I believe, over $100,000 that you can deposit right away if you have that, and you can start investing, and all profit you earn is tax-free. So you can really compound that account. This is fantastic account in Canada. I wish other countries have this as well. Tax-free savings accounts called the TFSA. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to advise on anything. I'm just Ronnie on the block over here, just smoking some weed and having some fun. Coinbase is reporting. If you follow crypto, Coinbase is a big exchange. Reddit, Cloudflare, Riot, Roku. Like, you see what we're having in the after hours. It is gonna get busy over here. Okay, so be careful, especially with these top two names, okay? They are the Magnificent Seven, and we had two of them yesterday, and we got another two today, okay? The only other ones we're missing off of here is NVIDIA, Tesla, and that's what we got going on, okay? Yahoo Finance, lots of news going on. Trump knocks Canada as countries rush to strike trade deals. A new pact with South Korea includes a 15% tariff rate on imports, with the U.S. facing no duties in return. NASDAQ futures jump after big tech earnings yesterday. We hit new all-time highs in NASDAQ, and probably continuing to drive after, if we see what happens, comes out with after hours earnings today. Microsoft on track for $4 trillion market cap after earnings beat. There's only NVIDIA right now sitting at $4 trillion. Microsoft might come up there. I'm sure MicroStrategy is going to catch up there as well. They're one of the fastest growing companies the street has ever seen in years. So it's interesting to watch what Michael Saylor is doing with MicroStrategy as well. Fed calendar quirk raises the stakes for its September meeting. Okay, so our next FOMC when we're together will be September, and that might be a possible quarter basis point, 25 points could be knocked down. That would be really bullish for the markets. Okay. Meta stock surges after earnings beat, guidance surprise. Congratulations on Meta, Facebook. That's great for investors. Trump's tariff on India to do little to upset iPhone manufacturing. So Trump is now putting tariffs on India. They're in talks right now, negotiations. That's going on. So let's just see what else is going on here. BMW sticks with guidance despite profit drop, Trump's tariffs. Okay, we were talking about this. Porsche, Mercedes, BMW, these are German auto manufacturers. If you trade DAX, German 30, German 40, these are the companies you're trading. You're trading Porsche, you're trading Mercedes, you're trading BMW, you're trading Siemens. These are all these companies that are comprised in the German exchange. So these tariffs are going to affect these imports coming into United States. Okay, guys. So if you guys want, just look, if you guys are a consumer and you want to buy a Porsche, you want to buy a BMW, you want to buy a Mercedes, you want to buy an Audi, you want to buy a Volkswagen, you're going to have to pay for it. Donald Trump is not paying this for you, this extra tax on top, this extra tariff. It's coming out of your pocket. So, you will be paying for this. Yes, it's good for the economy for Donald Trump and things like that. But at the end of the day, you are paying for this. Okay, that's how tariffs work. What else we got? Let's go through this real quickly. Yeah, guys. So this is good, just information. Go through this while you're drinking your coffee or you're relaxing at the evening. Go through your daily news. You know, you want to stay up to date with this. I'm reading this more than I'm watching Netflix, okay? Because this will help me make money. Netflix doesn't help me make money, okay? It's funny. I watched that Happy Gilmore Part 2. Did anyone watch it? I watched it with the kids. Some people say it was good. Some people say it was shitty. But I like Adam Sandler. Like, he's never disappointing in his movies. But anyone watch Happy Gilmore 2, or does anyone remember Happy Gilmore from the first one, or am I the only one here? So that's news-wise. This is going on. What else we got? Okay, in Discord. This was just released today, guys, right over here. So at where did the signal come in? 606. Okay, like I said, the early bird gets the worm. Short gold at 3305, and here's the chart provided right here. So this is what we're looking for. That short right there. You got some volume close below. You know, when you got the confirmations of some volume closing below, you got lower high wicks. You know, you can just get in the trade. Don't over leverage. Give it some room to breathe just in case there's a pullback. And you can see then with the updates how it played out. 648, 40 minutes later, it's already up 50 pips. This man is doing the pip dance over here, and it hit. There it is coming down. You can see how it's coming all the way down here, starting to push down, push down. Look at when it broke those wicks. It broke, it closed below, and it came down. And so at this point, when you're up like this, you can just start to reduce your trailing, your stop loss. Hopefully you can get it down to break even, and then the rest is just managing the profit. Okay, so let's keep trading simple, guys, and let's just continue doing what we're doing. Okay, just try not to over leverage when we're trading. That's it, guys. That's with Dave and I have been telling you guys this for 6 years. Now it's finally registering in a lot of you guys. You guys are getting this. You can slowly make some good gains, but slow, nice gains. It's all right. You don't gotta go Lambo sizing on every single trade you're doing, okay? Just take it easy. Just trade within your risk, trade where you're comfortable, and just be happy with a modest daily goal. And let's do this every single day. And when that money starts adding up, it will completely change your life. I'm telling you guys. If you don't believe me, it will change your life. It will pay off a lot of your debts, and you can start to be financially free if you know what to do with your profits. That's another thing. Like, a lot of people make profits, but then they're going buying those Lamborghinis and things like that. I understand everyone wants nice cars and things like that, but later on you can get all those things. Start paying off your debt right now. Get your debt out of the way. Then we'll talk about what type of car you want to buy. Okay, debt is very important. Get mortgage free. Pay off your line of credits, pay off your credit cards, all of that, okay? And then we'll have a conversation when you're financially free, how life completely changes, okay? So let's strive to that, okay? That's the goal for everybody here, I assume. I hope so, okay? And if you want to have nice cars and things like that, that's on the path too. You can get there as well, okay? So congratulations to everyone that grabbed that signal. You know, SST signals are there to always help us. So, you know, just trade careful and understand how the signals work, guys. Just do a little due diligence and you'll learn all about it. Okay. Everyone on YouTube, thank you guys for joining. 115 viewers. I apologize for yesterday's FOMC right at the end when close to 3 o'clock, the electricians went in the panel and they hit the wrong button in the panel and shut me off. So we were going to wrap it up anyways at 3. So, but I apologize for that. You know, I gave them shit when they did that. So they knew their mistake. They won't do it again. And we had some signals sent out yesterday on our free Telegram, also updates. Guys, these are our free, these are our YouTube links. So hopefully you guys can join the Telegram. It's free, you know, and then you get to see what we're doing over here. This is Crazy Ron over here after that gold sell yesterday, and showing you guys everything, what we do here, okay? We're very transparent. We show you what we do with the private group. We show you what we do live. You know, we're not here hiding anything. You see what you get what you see here, okay? If this is something that you're interested in, join the team. We have a really good trading team here. A lot of knowledge in the group. Nothing to do with Dave and I. This is you guys, you know, the snipers in the group. So, and they're out here helping everyone, okay? So Dave and I are the head educators and the head coaches here, but we have also moderators and snipers in the group that have been with us for 5+ years, and they could do this just like we can do it. Okay. And if you want education, lots of education here, guys. Everything we talk about in these live calls is all there for you guys. We got we got live sessions. I'm busy right now. I'm doing a lot of renovations, but once I get all this done, and then we go into the winter months, fall months, I'm not going to be outside enjoying the sun anymore. I'll be in this room with you guys. I will be doing Tokyo sessions. I'll be doing London sessions. I'll be doing pre-New Yorks. I'll be doing New Yorks, post-New Yorks. Throughout the day, I will be with you guys. Dave will be with you guys. We'll have more on here, more education coming. We're just getting started, guys. We're just getting started. It's like a bullish candle that's just starting to get ignited and starting to fill up again. Okay. So, and blogs, guys, we have a lot of free blogs. I want to read this one for everybody. Okay. Because trading the news, and we're going into NFP tomorrow. So just real quick, guys, mastering high impact news trading, navigating FOMC. We've gone through that. NFP. You're going to see in the next couple of weeks, we're going to have CPI, PPIs, and GDP releases. They're all high impact red folders. So trading these high impact news events can be both exhilarating and perilous. Events such as the FOMC meetings, that tomorrow NFP, CPI, PPI, and GDP are pivotal in shaping market trends. Okay, and we're going into a new month, so a lot of this is going to get out of the way, and we're going to see how things are going to trade, particularly during the New York session when liquidity is at its peak. The blog post delves into strategies for trading these events. So understand what these are, guys. Don't just say, yeah, what FOMC stands for. Really, guys, understand what is the impact of this? What is the market reaction of this? Tomorrow we have non-farm payroll. I know you guys understand what non-farm payroll is, but take it a little further and understand what the impact of this is. Provides a snapshot of the employment changes in the United States, influencing economic health perceptions, market reaction. So if you're trading FX pairs, especially those involving the USD, experience sharp swings. So be ready tomorrow. Equity markets also adjust based on employment data interpretation. Then you got CPI, PPI, gross GDP. So what is the preparation strategies? Your economic calendar, like know which days these are going to be released, your risk management, your position sizing, your stop loss orders. What are your trading approaches? This is a straddle approach. Some traders do this. A straddle approach is more for options, but some traders do this for trading news. They place a buy and sell order above and below current prices to capitalize on breakout moves. I've seen traders get tagged both ways, and and it's if you want to try that straddle strategy, good luck to you. Okay, you might hit it here and there, but the market knows that you got two pending orders above and below, and when you see those crazy spin top candles, what do you think they're doing? When they come up, they hit those orders, and then they come back down, they hit those orders, and they got the liquidity up and down, and it's just consolidating. So, us that are waiting for the confirmations, we don't need to get involved in that shit. So, to me, this is more of it is a strategy. It's more used in option trading because you can go short-term, long-term options. But I wouldn't recommend that for Forex or futures trading like the way what we do. There's also fade to move, wait and see moves. That's the confirmation with the retest and all of that, guys. I'll let you guys read this, but that's a free blog available, but lots going on in here, okay? Let's get into now the markets. We're going to get started with gold. There it is, guys. You see, when things come all the way down, 110 pips, if you do not do anything, this is right here, a live lesson on greed. I had to learn this myself over the years. I was this guy that was holding these positions for a long, long time. It would come down and I want more than 110 pips. I want 150. I want 200. Market comes down to a nice supporting area and it comes right back up to 3305 where you entered. You see what I mean? If you don't do anything, the markets are ruthless. You could have just gave away your daily goal right there. Why? Because you want more and you got greedy. That's the simple facts of trading. Okay? So I've learned my lesson, guys. Please learn from me. Don't get greedy in these markets. If you want, you try it and then you figure it out and see what happens. But it's demoralizing when you go up this much in profit and the market does this and comes back. And maybe you're not at a break even. Maybe you still have your stop loss up here. Then it's even worse when it comes up and hits your stop loss, and now you lost your capital when you were in all of that profit. Okay, that's up to you guys. The way how you learn, I know how I learned. I learned the hard way. So that's why when it starts going down to a level, you see me, I take out 80%, I leave 20% running. If this was my 20% runner, I'm pissed. I'm mad that my 20% runner came, but I'm still happy that I cleared 80% is in my pocket. Okay. So that is my trading rule. You know, it doesn't have to be yours. You can come up with your own trading rule, but there it is. That's showing you exactly how that works out. Okay. So does everyone understand that? Like, or am I just talking here and nobody cares because all we want to see are the candles? I understand that. But if you guys really want real talk from a real trader that's gone through the trenches for you guys, I'm telling you guys, you don't want to suffer how we suffered. Okay. You'll start to do a lot better in your trading when you just start be humble, appreciate the money, and take some money out of the markets. That's it. You know, not every trade is just going to keep going down, 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 right? Unless there's major news like yesterday. Gold sold off quite a bit yesterday, but there was some big news behind that. Okay, this is just some pre-market trading. When you can pick up 100 pips on a nice easy break, grab that money and get out. Okay. So let's get started on the daily, okay? Because we got a lot to review on the daily. Okay. And welcome everyone on Zoom. Thanks guys for joining. I appreciate all of you guys. Good morning, Conrad, iPhone, welcome. iPhone, I'm sorry, I don't know who your name is, but it says iPhone. Congratulations. Good morning. SSDN, welcome. Reese, welcome. Best Mike, good morning. Afternoon over where you are. Well, yeah, for me, it's morning. It's 7:30 over here. Good morning, Vanita, welcome. Joel, welcome. Trevor, welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, guys. Okay, and everyone on YouTube, good morning as well. Welcome. Rian, Rohit, welcome. Arun, good evening. Good evening for you. Good morning for me. Welcome, Danny Mutton. Morning. What happened with the stream yesterday? Electricians were playing around an electrical panel, and they hit a breaker, and it was the breaker where I was over here, and they shut things off. So I think we made too much money yesterday, and they wanted to shut us off. They wanted that I had to pay the electricians, so they had to take some of my pips away from me. Welcome, guys. Guys, if we can hit the likes on YouTube, we have 150 viewers. We do appreciate that. Hit the likes and let's continue growing together. We appreciate it, guys. The more we grow, the more knowledge we can give you guys. It doesn't cost you guys anything. It costs you guys a like. That's all we ask for in return. Just mutual respect. And it keeps us motivated to keep coming here on a daily basis and be on YouTube. Okay. Otherwise, you know, I'm not trying to say it disrespectfully, but I don't need to be on YouTube, to tell you the truth. I come here for appreciation of you guys, and I'm very passionate about teaching. So I want to teach everybody as much as we can, whether you're in the SST group or you're on YouTube. It doesn't matter. We're all one team together. That's the way I look at it. Okay. And what I can do, guys, is I can talk about anything and continue to do my charting. You'll probably see me in the near future just doing my charting and talking about other things in the markets. You know, I explain all these zones, everything on a daily basis. All you guys got to do is just go back and watch one top-down analysis for the first 20 minutes, and you'll see exactly what I'm doing. So right there, all-time high of gold, 3,500. There's the date when we hit it, April 22nd. I'm looking at the range low from the all-time high was right there, May 15th. There's a range low, 3,120. This is our supply zone. How do you figure out a supply zone? Sometimes it only takes 2 bars to figure out a zone. You know, as soon as you see some barcoding, yeah, that's what I'll say. As soon as you see a barcode where you see a blue candle and a bearish candle match, same size, that could be your clue of the consolidation and barcoding. As soon as you see 2 bars, try and stretch it into the future and see if a 3rd bar will come in there and do it. If it doesn't come right away, that's why you got to continue going. Then it came right back in, and look at the size of that blue candle, kind of barcoded right back in there. And then look at the bearish candle, barcoding right back down. Also, when it came back in there, you see the rejection wick. So there's 2 tops. That's considered a double top M pattern. Okay, let's take it a little further. bring it back into the future, and you see when we traded back in there, it's wicks came in there, back down, wicks came in there. No bodies of volume, but it got rejected quickly as soon as it came in. So that's still a supply zone. Now we come in again when you're searching for further. There again is the barcoding. There's your bullish candle, and then look at the response next candle bar. Bearish, okay? So there it is. Continue again. There it is again. We got some blue volume barcoding in that zone, the exact same size of the zone. And then you got the bearish candles coming right back out. So you can look at this as one top, two tops, three tops, four tops. You can look at it as this is one top, two top. These wicks are the third top. There's a fourth top. This is a five top. I don't care how many tops you look at it. Just understand when it comes in, it's getting pushed back out. So the selling pressure is there. If we come back in again, it might come in a sixth time and go back down. However, if we actually close above here, and that's why we're always flipping the zone, maybe green, retest off of it, then we go to the all-time high. But look at the next days. Like you can see, they fake out and come back down. Look at the dates too. This is a Friday weekend. This one was a Tuesday midweek reversal. This one over here was a Tuesday, Wednesday midweek reversal. This one right here was a start of the week Monday, and we hit the all-time high Tuesday, and then they brought it down early in the week. So also time and dates, also you gotta learn a little bit about that as well. Okay, so I got supply zones, I got demand zones, I got range high, range low. Now some points of interest inside. You guys probably know that 3285. I talk about this every single day. Why? Because this was a specific area of support on these daily candles. You can see there's wicks bodies. So I go yellow line. And then I can see that we actually physically closed below it yesterday, but now we got a bullish ignited gold candle coming all the way right back up. Okay, so it's off of this big downtrend. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inside consolidation, 6. So a 6-day downtrend, but now we're coming down to some supporting areas, which was holding up gold from this green zone. Okay, you can see these two wicks are tweezer bottom lows. We haven't came down to those wicks yet. 32.45. You can see when we came down, it went back up. It came down, it held at 32.85. We went back up, we got rejected at that all-time high supply. Coming back down, we closed yesterday, and look at the wick, okay? So this is where points of interest, okay? See how it closed and where we opened, okay? So just looking at today's candle, right there, we closed 32.75. Get to know these numbers, guys. I've been saying this for 6 years now. 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, 150, 175, 200. It's an online auction. Please, guys, take your kids. Go for a car auction this weekend. If you got a car auction in your city, they're fun. Go to a car auction and just listen to that guy. Sold, like just listen. That's how live auctions work. Right now we can't, it's a digital auction like when we're trading gold here, but that's how it works. It works just like that guy, and he's spitting out the numbers, and more transactions happen around whole numbers, so that's how these markets work. When you start to put that piece of the puzzle together, it's going to start to make more sense. Then when you start to see those specific numbers at the well-defined structural areas, then you understand what's really going on. Okay, so it's no surprise to me that there was, and then when I look at evidence in the past, right there's a body and a body. That body closed right there, and it opened that there. Look at where the wicks came down, right down 32.75, back up, came down 32.75, back up. Look at this one, all the way down to 32.75, back up. So you know that there's some specific stuff going on down there. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm talking a lot, and it's 7:40. That's probably one thing you're going to notice with me. I do talk a lot because I like to explain everything. I like to explain everything. I don't like to miss anything. I want you guys to understand what happened yesterday and why did it open like this today. Because that's how I learned how to do this stuff. I used to just exactly what I'm doing. This is how I learned how to do this. So now I look, it opened today. That wick yesterday was pretty small. It's not like one of these long wicks over here. So I asked myself, why didn't it open? And then why didn't it just take out yesterday's low? Why? Because the market is not allowing it to, right? It opened strong. There is a little tiny wick on today's candle. You see, it did try. It did. As soon as it opened, it was bearish. Right there. It came down to 3273. So I show the lowest point with a purple line. And there, you can visually see, we came down. Did it fill yesterday's wick? No. So that is technically a higher low. Yesterday was a higher low. I look over on this day, June 30th, that's a higher low. I look over here, we're in a big green demand zone. So we're still coming up on the monthly, okay? I know it's bearish, like this week. It came down, but it's still higher low, still this is higher low. So we could definitely come back up a little bit today, maybe this week. Maybe we consolidate down here and build a neckline for the next leg coming back up. However, if the sellers do, more selling pressure coming down, if they absorb all this buying volume today, we could easily flip that into a shooting star, take out yesterday's low, and then we're dropping all the way back down exactly to 32.45 to test these tweezer bottom lows. And I guarantee you with heavy supply, it will break that tweezer bottom lows and then drive right into this green zone. And then what I would do is identify exactly 50% of that green zone, 3,220, okay? And then we see what happens in there. It could come to the top of the green box, grab a wick, go back up. It could come right in the 50% of that depth of market and go back up, or it could come right to the bottom, 3207, and go back up. Okay, so that's below us. That's the depth of market below us. Now I can see how we're coming all the way back up. Do we have any structure points of interest above us? I would look at this area, for example, 32.23. Why? I got a wick. I got bodies. I got body. Looking over here, we're still below it, 32.23, 32.25. Okay, it's off by 15 points from that psychological. You can go up to 32.25 if you like. You can manipulate this yourself. I like to keep it consistent with the bodies, but I still know if it's 23, I'm still got in the back of my mind 25. Okay, and then what I like to also see is yesterday was a pretty substantial bearish candle. Okay, so let's find that bearish point of control. We're trading in it right now. I can see. So grab our Fibonacci tool, and there's exactly. Look at yesterday's volume, guys. I don't make this up. I would love to say that I'm making this up, and then you guys say, Ron, you're making this up. Look at where I just plotted this from the opening price of yesterday, and I plotted it down to the closing price. Not the high, not the low, just the open and the close. Someone tell me what the 0.5 is. Exactly 50% of yesterday's entire daily volume of trading. We're talking on a 24-hour cycle. What is the number of 50%? Anybody know? Does anyone have this marked on their own charts? Come on, who's got this? Am I the only one that does this? Look at the yellow line I just placed at 0.5. 3,325 cents. Guys, that's it. I'm wrapping up the call. I'm out of here. That's as psychological as it can get. That is exactly 50% of yesterday's entire trading volume. It's not a 5-minute candle. That's a daily candle. And look at the psychological number, 3,300 and a quarter. Okay. Now that's giving me the exact 50%. Maybe I want to know where that pocket is, that point of control zone. So it's 1 standard deviation above 1 standard deviation below on the ratio of the Fibonacci. There it is. I'm going to assume yesterday it was a big bearish candle. So that zone, that point of control is bearish, right? So what I do is I stretch it into the future. Okay. Now, when I'm all done that, I can get rid of my Fibonacci. I've got my point of control and I got 50% exactly. Now I look at how we're trading based off of today. So we opened, didn't take the low, very strong. We're coming up bullish. As soon as we got into this red zone, look, we broke right through it. We got up to the 50%, no rejection there, coming right through. We actually broke through the red zone. We got through there. We peaked our head up at 33.15. We made a high of the day up there. There it is. There's my purple line for the high of the day. And is it still lower than yesterday's volume? Yes, it is. Technically, it is. It came up there. That's a lower high, and they're pushing it right back down. Now we're trading inside this red zone still. I can't turn this zone green on the daily until the daily bar actually physically closes above there. But what I can do is I can start to go down from the daily to the 4-hour to the hourly to the 5 minutes and see how transactions are operating inside that point of control. Okay, I'm still going to give the benefit of the doubt that this is sellers in the market until the buyers can prove me otherwise. Right now they broke through there, but then they got rejected and it's trading right back in here. So if it comes back down to 3,300 yellow line, we should see some support there. If there's no support, it'll break. It'll come back down to the bottom of this. It'll come down to 32.95. That's a 50-point drop. If we can't hold there, we come back to this yellow line. This yellow line, 32.85. That could be where it gets a higher low support and continue push up. If we can't hold there, it's going to come back where we opened, and then we're looking at yesterday's low and continue to trend back down. Then if it comes all the way down, I know that they've absorbed all of these buyers and could technically break and continue to squeeze lower and get these buyers thinking about where they place their stop losses. Okay. And then when we look at the overall trend of the markets, like if we come back up very bullish, back up to the high of the day, we break, maybe we'll test this 32.23. Next point of interest is filling those wicks, then getting up to these bodies. There, I got a body, a little gap in the market. I would say around that 3.337 we've been talking about all for a long time. You know, like some of these numbers are just gonna be automatic in your head. You're gonna know all about these. Okay. I can continue to go up. If we do come up from this red line, are we going to go all the way up to the red zone? Possibly, if there's some substantial news in the market. But first things first, go bar by bar. Where does it typically want to go to? It wants to go to point of control of that bearish candle. Wants to maybe trade in there and see what's going on. There might be more sellers right in there, and then they push it right back down. Okay, and then from there, body to body, point of interest. Again, it's not difficult to do this, guys. Okay, and then now I look at overall pattern on the daily. Again, we're still below this supply zone. We're above this demand zone. We're trading inside here. We're coming off. Maybe we'll get a little bit of a recovery on gold coming up today. Maybe some consolidation, maybe a bear flag, and we continue dropping down. We'll see. If the US dollar is continuing to be strong and it's hitting above 100 on the DXY and moving up, we'll see gold selling. We'll see gold selling. You know, why is that? Some people say, why is that? Well, just think about it. If gold is selling, right, there's probably a lot of previous buyers that made a lot of money on gold, maybe investors holding for a long time. Now they're unloading, they're realizing their profit, they're selling, right, to new buyers, they're selling. And then what are they doing with all of their profit? I don't think they're just sitting on the sidelines. They're investors. So they're looking somewhere else to take their profit and put it into something that is in demand. Maybe the US dollar is in demand now. So they take their winnings from gold and start to buy the US dollar, right? And that's the US dollar gold correlation. That's why everyone says when gold is going up, the dollar is going down. When the dollar is going up, gold is going down. And then when you actually look behind the scenes, it makes logical sense. You know, like if I bought gold down here and I made like a lot of money, and then now I want to sell it and I want to take my profit. Now I'm looking somewhere else to compound it. Where can I put it? I could put it in a US dollar that had a significant drop, and now it's gaining in momentum. It's gaining strength. And then maybe put my money in there for a little bit. As the dollar goes up, I make some money. When it gets to a certain point, I take that money, and then maybe gold is at a nice demand area and it's on discount. Then I take that money and it's just rinse and repeat. You can do this with multiple securities. I do this in the stock markets all day long, you know, with MicroStrategy. I rinse and repeat that thing all day, every day. So you got to pick what security is your favorite and just learn about it and watch it every day, and then you'll learn about its moves. Okay. So yesterday I went to 4 hour. Did you guys, someone said, Ron, I really enjoyed when you did the 4 hour analysis as well. Yeah, it's just another time frame we're looking at. You know, normally I jump from the daily to the 4 hour the daily to the hourly, then to the 5 minutes. But if you want to jump into the 4 hour, no problems. Like you can see there's the M top on the 4 hours, body close below. It came up, retested below 50% and the drop, okay, right there. You know, if this was a 5 minute pattern, I probably would have took that sell right there too on a 5 minute. Why would I not want to take it on a 4 hour? And in 4 hour, you're holding longer and you're realizing more profit because it's a bigger move. So here's the 4 hours. Broke down, came back up, lower high, broke down, lower low, came back up, lower high. That big news yesterday came down. We had that slow grind up, you know, what we were talking about. That's why we had the short sell. We were saying staircases coming up, and it's just a matter of time when that elevator is coming down. And we caught it yesterday. We caught the whole thing. So that was exciting. And since then, it broke down, took out those lows. Now we're coming right back up again. Okay. So is it the staircase? Look at this 4 hour candle. Like, look at it now. We have 2 hours and 7 minutes. This was a really bearish 4-hour candle. It came all the way down here. It came all the way down to the bottom of there. And look at the response. The 4-hour candle, they're buying it right back up. It's turning into a bullish pin bar right now. So we could definitely continue to backfill this 4-hour wick, the London wick. That's 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 6 a.m. and get back to the highest point of the day and maybe test 33.22 today. Okay. Just look at how it's coming up. So we've established a bottom on a 4-hour. What you can do is if you draw a green box, you could go from right there to that wick. And now you found your 4-hour first bottom already established. Now stretch it into the future and set an alert there. If for 4-hour traders or buyers, swing traders, if it comes back down, there's your opportunity to look for that second bottom. It might do this. We've seen it do that. It might come and take out that low and maybe grab some more liquidity. Then if you get a clue that it came down there, grabbed the liquidity, closed back above, that could be that setup that I was talking about. Take a snapshot of it. That's your double bottom with a liquidity grab. And this is a 4-hour move that could strengthen holding this for a longer time, like a swing trade. And so that's a possibility. It could also come down right there and instead of coming down for a double bottom, it picks up a higher low right there at 32.85. If it comes down there, maybe then it wants to continue. The buyers are asked to trade up here. They don't want it come down here. They're asking up here. So then that forces sellers to, start trading up in here. Okay. And that's where we could break through that resistance. Okay. But overall, we're still in a downtrend. Like if you draw a 4-hour trend line starting from up here, if you want to you can do it like this. Okay. That's not incorrect the way how you do it like that. You see it's still trending down. Some traders want to go with like the existing trend right there, how it was coming down, then it broke, and then you see how it came all the way down, and you see now where the trend line was resistance, the volume closed above it, and then you see how the white line turns to support on that trend line. Okay, that's one trend line. There's multiple trend lines you can place on your chart, like you could do that one too. And then you see they're like fans coming down. So that one too is still technically coming from a higher time frame, still below that. They haven't broken. Maybe today, that's where the 4-hour could possibly break. You see how it's set up to break right here? Like could possibly break through there, close above there, maybe retest this, maybe retest that block, because now that block would be green. If it closes above, then we're doing this. Then we're retracing right back up to fill that imbalance, and then maybe have a lot of movement to the upside, okay? Unless the sellers really shut it down. Where would I see them shutting it down? Right around 50% of that big elevator candle coming down. Somewhere around there, like 3.317, 3.318. That's where the major resistance will come into the markets, okay? But right now, looking good. It's coming off of this 4-hour move. That already came down really bearish, and now it's possibly flipping, okay? That was that sell we had, that 100 pip sell coming down at 6 a.m. And then, if you didn't do anything, it's coming right back up. Okay. On the hourly now, hourly breakdown, lower low, pull back, lower high, breakdown, lower low, slowly coming up on the hourly. That was that sell we had the previous hour. There it is. 6 a.m. dropped 100 pips. And this hour, they're bringing it right back up. Okay. So that was the wick rejection on the 4-hour I showed you. And then now you see on the hourly, it's a bullish engulfing candle closing in 3.5 minutes because we're going into 8 a.m. We might take this momentum with us going into COMEX. So guys, this is really interesting now. Now, we could be walking into a setup. Okay. So you see, now we have good hourly support bottom. That's at 4-hour. If it ever comes down there, put a signal like right there at that purple line. I'm going to place a signal. Give me an alert later on. If it ever comes down there, I could be looking for a buy down there. Okay. Right now, I'm not worried about that buy. We're nowhere near there, but I could also place an alert at that yellow line. Get me set up there. If it ever comes back down, that could be the higher low. Right now, we got to work this area. So it came through this red zone. The buyers came right through there. The sellers sold it back down, but the hourly is making another higher low, coming right back up, bullish engulfing. It could engulf this entire bar. Then we find 50% of this point of control. I got this 3,300 yellow line, so somewhere right around there. And then there's our resistance. You see, we're coming up. There's the trend line. So we'll see maybe a fake breakout to up here We'll follow this. We'll follow this. Stick with me. I can go with the 15 minutes, see what the 15s are doing. You know, if you're a 15-minute trader, you see your resistance, came down, you made a bottom, coming right back up. This could be neckline territory where they want to push it down, but it could also close strong and continue to maybe test this trend line or test up 33.12 in this area, okay? Maybe also test the high of the day and then make the resistance at the high of the day. We go to the 5 minutes. Okay, so this is how it looks on the 5 minutes. There was the SST sell, okay, at 3305 right there, a sell signal, came all the way down. But even in the 5 minutes, you can still see, you know, like when I had that line down there, what I was looking at were those bodies, those wicks, those bodies, and I placed that line down there. That's why when I said it came down 110 pips, guys, if you don't do anything, you're coming where you can see existing buyers are interested in coming in the market. They're getting a discount. Instead of buying all the way up here, they're buying back down in here, okay? So there's always discount buyers and there's also premium sellers in the markets, okay? So now it came right back up. We're closing in a minute 40. Welcome, guys. Crowman, welcome from Croatia. Kakosi. I visit Croatia all the time. This is the first summer I haven't been back home. Because I'm renovating, the wife's got me renovating the whole home. But normally July and August, I'm in Europe this time. I come to Dubrovnik. My neighbor's from Split, Croatia. Welcome. Crowman, where are you from? Okay, and then on these 5 minute candles, you know, like if we get a pullback, maybe right around 3,300. What I do is, you know, I look at some structure on the 5 minute candles. I look at maybe a little bit above, a little bit below, right in there. Maybe I could get a possible pullback buy continuing with this, but it could also break there and continue dropping. But just a point of interest, if it does come down there, that might be a point where I'm going to entertain, maybe just looking for either a buy or a sell, depending on what's happening there. I'll add an alert and I'm ready for it when it comes down there. Okay, guys, awesome. We got 210 viewers. Thank you, guys. If you wouldn't mind hitting the likes button, that was a really thorough top-down analysis. Sorry, guys, it took that long. But, you know, if you kind of understand what I'm looking for when we're trading, maybe it makes my life easier here on these calls. So do you guys understand, like, how we went from the daily, we saw the 4 hour, we saw the hourly, how bullish it is, and we can see now how it's looking on the 5 minutes. 5 minutes are a little bit indecision now. You see it broke, came up, rejected back down, came back down, 50% of that bullish candle coming back up. It broke. I don't see any 5 minute bullish volume closing above this red box. All I see is impulse rejection wicks. So maybe I wait for a body confirmation to close above there. Otherwise, they could just bring this thing right back down. Okay, so it's still, maybe we're finding the neckline on the 5 minutes. Good morning, Lady Stone. Welcome. Joel, one of the best cars in the world, came from Croatia. Okay, see how we opened? Bearish, ignited, falling. Rimac? I'm not aware of that. I'm going to take a look, Joel. Nevera. Oh, it's the car Richard Hammond crashed. Oh, the CEO of Bugatti is the owner of it. Okay. Is that what you're going to buy, Joel, with all the pips? Okay, so you see how we came down, higher low, coming back up. We got 3.5 minutes to go. Let's see if we get any closing volume above here. Okay. Also, what I do is I always take a look at my spreads prior to maybe looking to take a trade. Always take a look at the spreads. I like to trade when the spreads are as low as possible. Guys, Fusion froze yesterday during FOMC, but it got back running. From time to time, when there's high impact news, You might see brokers freeze, prop firms freeze, things like that. If anything ever happens like that in the future, always take screenshots, screen record anything if you are in a trade. And hopefully the broker does the honest thing. And if you're in a trade and it goes against you, you know, there's nothing you can do when the broker freezes. But the good brokers will honor that and take care of it, okay? So you see we got a little indecision, okay? You know that hourly candle what we were just talking about? So it closed, it came up, and then it got rejected a little bit. So a little bit of a pullback. I'm looking more of a pullback down into here if it can come in there, but maybe we get some volume closing above here again. We don't have too much wicks to fill. We could possibly continue to move up. Let's see on these 5 minutes. Okay, it's closing in 2 more minutes. Can it close above there with some volume, or are we going to come back down? Guys, we're going to give the SST daily bar indicator away if we get 200 likes to someone. This is the SST daily bar indicator. It's really handy indicator, okay, because I can see the opening, I can see the lowest point, I can see all of the bullish volume. I can now see when we hit the high of the day, then I can just scroll back on the 5 minutes and I can see exactly we hit the high of the day at 420. Oh man, this number, I don't know what it's, this 420 number, but every time I got to go smoke a joint every time I say that. But 420, we hit the high of the day and it got rejected. You can see the rejection, how low it came, and this is where the volume is trading again. So this is the daily bar. So if we're selling into this strong daily bullish volume, which I've seen the daily bar indicators just continuing to get exhausted, and I've seen them flip into a shooting star and take out that little wick and start dropping. But currently we have a strong daily candle. It's got more than 50% of the volume is still strong volume. So, you know, like maybe if we want to continue trading, maybe it might fill its wick again and test that high of the day. Maybe the high of the day is already established. That's it, 420, they've established it. So what we got to do on these 5 minute candles is we got to slowly grind our way back up. We got to fill these wicks, maybe close above here, get up to this structure. You can see where there's an M pattern on the 5 minutes where it broke down right there. It came up. There's the pivot support, the neckline came back up, lower high, double top, came up, down, up, down. There's where it broke. Then you see the retest of the support turn to resistance right there. Sorry, I'll make it a red line like I always do. And then you see it's still holding below. So we're not there yet. It came up, back down, came up, back down. All impulse moves still lower than, so technically that's a lower high and we're still pushing down maybe. So are the sellers going to push it all the way back down into this green zone here? I'd like to buy in here if I can, buy that pullback. However, if they're still building in here and we're kind of flagging in here, then maybe we might possibly get a breakout for COMEX. That's going to open up in 15 more minutes. So right now we might be just flagging right here in this, ready to continue to break out, or sellers are accumulating and we're still in that bigger red zone. They could easily knock this down. If I'm kind of looking for, like, let's say if I was to sell here, coming down to the green box, that's where you go up 30 pips, 45 pips, maybe 50 pips. And if you don't do anything, I'm just saying, guys, like this can happen. It's happened to me a lot of times where I get in a sell and it comes down and then there it gets a higher low and then it goes right back up. And then I just watch 50 pips just disappear, right? Because you got to understand they could be making also a higher low there. Yes, if you get in the sell, it could technically break through there and you get more pips. Then if that's the case, I'll continue with my sell and follow the volume. I'm with it. I see it break down there. Then maybe I'll flip that green zone red. And then when it comes up for the retest, it might come up retest, then it's a red zone. And then it continues to fall back down all the way down where it started and maybe a new lower low. So, but when it's coming down there and you're up 50 pips, at least take your stop loss and maybe go to a break even and then just manage your 50 pips. Some traders, let it ride, that's fine. But if you let that 100 pip, 110 pip sell ride that we gave you a signal for, you let it ride, it came right back up and you're left with nothing. So even if it drops 50 pips and you don't do anything, it could come in that green zone and come right back up and then you just give away your 50 pips. Then it's a break even or possibly a stop loss hit. What I do is if it comes down there, I'll secure a position, I like to do 80-20 because I'm a scalper, because sometimes it comes down there in 1 or 2 minutes and then it's right back up in 1 or 2 minutes. So I have the habit of I'm a scalper and I like to secure the majority of the trade at 80%, leave 20% running. So there's some traders that will take out 50% and leave 50% running. There are some traders that do the opposite of what I do. They take out 20%, they leave 80% running. Whatever it is, you figure it out. Okay, you figure out your rules. Okay, I'm not here to teach you my rules. My rules are for me for a specific reason. I'm not. Sometimes I don't even trade 5-minute candles when I'm trading. I'm trading these 1-minute candles. Okay, we'll do 1-minute sessions, but that's where I gotta understand. If I get in a 1-minute trade, like even that bar right there, and I get 2 bars, you guys gotta understand. Like, it's scalping. I try and hold trades as long as I can on these calls, for your benefit. But when I'm scalping, sometimes I'm in trades for 30 seconds. 1 bar, get in, it could be breaking out for 15, 20 pips, and that's it. I close that trade and I look for a couple more of those, and that's it. I'm done for the day. I hit my goal. Sometimes in minutes, I can hit my daily goal. Okay, so look, we're still holding in here. Still got a nice bullish candle, but are we going to get one closing with volume above there? I see a wick. I see a wick, a wick, a wick, a wick, a wick. Is it just going to come up there and get rejected again? So let's see if we actually get a close above there. Okay. Okay, look at the rejection, guys. See how it came up there again? They tease those buyers, buying on impulse, and they trap them, and they're bringing it right back down as a shooting star. Okay, this will close in 50 seconds. So you see, and then we got 10 more minutes for COMEX. So we might get that bearish leg coming back down. See all the rejections up there? The buyers couldn't close with conviction. Okay, there's a lot of impulse buyers up there. You can see by the evidence of the wicks. It leaves the footprints behind. Now we've got a bearish candle coming down. Will it technically take out this low wick right there? You can see the retest of that low wick was 50% exactly of that bullish bar. So sometimes when you just place a line, you're going to technically see, you'll cut the previous candle and you'll see when it came down, it came right into 50%. It held. The buyers pushed it up, but see, no close, no solid close above there. Okay, they're there. The buyers are there, but they're not closing it strong. Sellers are still there. That's why we got this inside consolidation, this flag right here. So in 10 more minutes, we got market news. That not market news, I mean exchange open at 820 COMEX. So that will bring in that additional volume that could send this pushing down, maybe trigger all these orders in this block, maybe come a little lower, or it could start to break out because a lot of these, there's a lot of stop losses up here. All of the sellers, these sellers maybe have their stops up here. So maybe the COMEX will come out and tag all those stop losses, grab that liquidity up there, and then come back down, or just continue moving up. Okay, this was another bullish ignited candle. Sorry, not ignited. There's a little wick on it, but coming right back up, testing up here. Will this be a body that closes above there, or is it another rejection, lower high, pushing right back down? Okay, I'm looking at my spreads right now, a little higher than normally. It's 1.2 for me, 1.2. Normally I like trading with Fusion when it's like 0.4, 0.5. But I'm on the 5-minute candle, so I'll hold a little longer, so I'm okay with a 1 pip spread. But when I'm scalping 1 minutes, I like to have the lowest spread possible. That 0.4 looks tasty. And with fast executions, you can get in with minimal to zero spread. That's why I like scalping US 30, because US 30 is low spreads and no commissions. See, when I trade gold, I have to pay commissions. It's $2.25 per way. So to buy, $2.25 to close your trade. So it's a $4.50 transaction both ways. For some brokers, you guys have $6, $7, $8. I've even seen $9 commissions, which is crazy. Like you're paying 2 times more commission I am than on gold. Okay, so commissions, spreads, they eat away at your profit. Okay, it's like a business expense. You gotta figure out. That's why I like to trade scalp US 30, because I get a low spread. It's got bigger volume, the moves. So like one candle could be 20, 30 pips, and zero commissions. Back in the day, guys, when I used to trade gold a lot, I used to use 5 lots, 10 lots. I was paying $10,000 a month just in commissions. Whether I make money or lose money, I was paying the broker $10,000 US just in commissions alone. This is not a lie. This is the truth. That was $120,000 a year I was giving to the broker just to trade gold. So then I kind of said, what the fuck am I doing? That could be $120,000 in my pocket and in my kid's pocket. All I got to do is just switch and trade US 30 or trade NASDAQ or trade S&P. And I can still make money trading that. And I saved myself $120,000 on commissions. Yeah. Mr. Horner from Fusion contacted me and said, hey, Ron, why did you switch securities? I said, I'm tired of paying you $120,000 a year. It's just basic math, guys. That's money and more money in your pocket. Think smart as a trader, okay? Okay, so we got a nice bullish candle coming up. Is this going to be a first bar close? Okay. And remember, if it does close, they might trick us to buy and then 5 minutes later it's market open and they dump it on us. Okay. So just think at possible moves that could happen. Yes, it could close above there and continue just pushing and maybe open with that market exchange and with that momentum. That could happen. I always, have a plan A and a plan B of what things can happen. So, and then I just take it with the volume, where it closes, how it closes, take it candle by candle. That's the best we can do and just trade with proper risk management. Okay. Okay, so we're closing in 38 seconds. We do have that volume coming back above here, but every time it came up here, it got rejected, 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 rejected. And we're coming back up. Is it going to take out a new high? That new high is 3,307.66 cents. That is technically a lower high still that it's placed. Now it's going to close. Where will it close? Okay, here's the close. Get ready. And 50% is the actual retest of this structure here. Okay, and this is 8:15. This is 5 minutes prior to COMEX market open. Okay, so it did close above. You remember this big red zone? That was from yesterday's daily candle. That was 50%. We are currently above it right now. So I'm going to make this huge red zone green just to illustrate that we've flipped the point of control from yesterday's volume to bullish currently. So maybe we got to wait for a nice pullback to come in here, because right now the depth of market is having pending orders coming in. Right now there could be pending buyers want to buy right here. So you got pending orders entering the queue right now. Could be one pending order kind of right there. There could be another pending order. This could be a pending order. This big block could be more pending orders. So now if the market comes back down here, it might pick up all those pending orders and go back up. So that's if we're waiting for a patient pullback, right? We're waiting with those to trigger those pending orders, okay? It could just come right back down right here and retest this, find those pending orders, and that's enough to take it back up. That's the actual retest, okay? If you want to enter like right away in a buy off of the first body that closed, you can do that. But, it's always best practice to wait for the pullback. Are you going to get it immediately? Not always. Sometimes it takes 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours before it will come deep back down into here. Sometimes it just takes off and continues running. So, just wait it out, see how it's coming down. Now it's retesting 50% right here, okay? So we should technically see a wick just from this previous candle on that point of control of that candle. So there's the wick. So we're getting support at that 50%. We are 3 minutes away from COMEX market open, okay? So this is the time now you got to ask yourself, it closed above, it got a retest. If I go in a buy, you got to know that market exchange open. And that's going to be a lot of volume. So that's where they can easily fake out these early buyers right now, even know that there's a proper retest. They could fake you out and take you back down. So is it worth taking a trade right now, or should we just wait till the market exchange opens? To me, it's always best practice to wait as much as you can for news to drop. Like if this was 827, same situation, and we're going into 830, and there's a US red folder, which we are going to see at 830, the PCE price index. Do you want to trade just a couple minutes right before the big news or the big open, just because there is a particular pattern that could play out? It's best to avoid that, in my opinion, because I've been burned so many times by that. Yes, it does work out from time to time, but you do not want to get in the habit of trading like that, because you might develop a bad habit. That's just my humble opinion, okay? Someone will say, Ron, you're completely wrong. I do this all the time, and I do this, and I trade right before market news, and I trade before Wall Street market open, and I make good money. That's great. Fantastic. If you are, continue doing it. Just back test. For me, it didn't work. When I do that, I get clapped. So I try to the best of my ability, maybe because I'm a scalper. Maybe that's what it is. If I was to buy this and I put a heavy stop loss and I put a bigger stop loss, yeah, then maybe I can sit and hold it through news. And I can't do that as a scalper. I'm sorry. I got tight stop losses, and as soon as that volume opens up, boom, I'm taken out. I might have the right direction, but I'm using thinner stop losses than most traders. So everyone has rules. That's my rule. I try to stick to that as much as I can on a daily basis. That keeps me consistent following my rules. I might break them here and there, depending on the situation, but I try to stick to rules. The rules is what made me profitable. When I was trading with no rules, that's when I was losing all my money. So I'm telling you guys the honest truth. When I started trading with discipline and rules, my entire outlook of trading and my account size started to grow. It's just trading with discipline. It's knowing that, yeah, you might miss out on a few pips. If, like, for example, if that retested and it's trading up at this red line, okay, maybe we missed out on, let's say we bought the retest and it came up there. Maybe we missed out on 25 pips. But what happens if it came up there, then the market opens and then boom, it's a big bearish candle coming back down. Like, to me, the risk to reward is not worth it. And then maybe they're going to fake out those buyers. It did come up there, close above, and then maybe this bearish candle will come back down. COMEX will open, and it's coming right back down into here. Okay, but it's still retesting and holding. So now here's the open. Look, it retested, held, bearish engulfing candle coming down. Okay, so let's see if there's a quick wick to come back up. Maybe they're quickly bringing it down to gather some pending orders. Okay, and maybe it will come back up and start to break out. However, this is a bearish ignited candle that opens. Okay, so these are really strong bearish, unless they can pick up enough below here and come back up to flip this. If it flips, there's not too much resistance behind that it can fill. Just needs to kind of fill that wick, and it will get above that one. And then we're driving up to this red line and maybe a little higher. Okay, so it's got its wick. Get ready, guys. Got it. Nice retest. Came back up to the opening point. Again, that bearish head is holding it back down. This is a hanging man candle. It could possibly flip. Okay. It's still bearish. Coming back down, coming back down, coming back down. So now they're engulfing even more. Okay. So will it come all the way down, lower lows? Will it still hold that? We're still right in that kind of consolidated flag. Wow. Okay. So you see how they faked out those buyers up there. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes knowing what's happening, like what exchange is opening up, if you bought, what did you do anything? Probably not. So now they're coming to hunt for your stop losses. Stop losses, I guarantee you there's a shit ton of stop losses placed right below this wick right here, 50% of this bullish candle. They're probably trying to target those. However, buyers are buying higher low, higher low, higher low. So like even if you just draw like a little bit of a trend from here, are they still holding that trend? Is it still going to ascend this way back up? 3.5 minutes to go. Okay, so it came down, but you notice, lesson for everybody, that bearish ignited head, how strong it is. Okay, it's not easy to flip these candles, but the more they come down here, the more pending orders they get, and if it can continue to come back up, we'll see what happens. If this is a bearish engulfed ignited bar closing below here, we might get one more, like more momentum to the downside. Do you guys understand that? Like how the market opened and kind of tricked those early buyers and bringing it back down. That's exactly what I was talking about. Is it worth taking a buy? Risk reward. This might be continuation to sell, like, but what I'm watching is this bearish candle going to close below all this structure? And then I know it sucks. But this is the way how the markets work. Then next 5-minute candles, 825. And then at 8:30, 5 minutes later, we have some major red US folders. Okay. So you got your core PCE coming out in 7 minutes. You have your employment cost index coming out. We have our weekly unemployment claims coming out. So you can see that there's a lot of news coming out. So again, someone's going to say, Ron, you're so repetitive. Well, like now, maybe if this one closes below, you're saying maybe don't trade the next 5-minute candle because we have news coming at 8:30. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. I don't know why it's confusing to people. Again, your 8:20 is when COMEX opens up. 10 minutes later, you got major red news. So in that time span of those 5-10 minutes, do you want to take a trade? You can, absolutely, but you got to know that there's going to be some volatility coming in the markets. So the best thing to do is wait for everything. Wait, see, follow. Did it come down? Did it make, when COMEX market open, did it make higher lows? Is it still supporting this move? Are buyers still supporting COMEX market open? Will the news coincide with this? Will the news negate this? Like all of these things. We can trade after. We can trade at 8:40. We can trade at 8:45. We can trade at 9. We can trade at 10, 11, 12 today. But this is just following what's going on. The exchanges are opening up. News is being released right now. You don't have to necessarily just jump into a trade and hope for the best. Let's see structure, what's going on, But if you do see something you like, go for it. Like your gut instinct is always your intuition, that's you can't always just wait for everything. You see, sometimes I trade impulse candles. There's a time and place, you got to go with the flow sometimes. Here, okay, it opened, remember, it came all the way down. Okay, so we're still holding this structure, this trend line. We're still holding this support area. We got a higher low, higher low, higher low. Buyers are there. They're pushing it right back up. We're closing in about 10 seconds. Okay. So where will it close? It's a hanging man currently. Okay, so it closed as a hangman. We're opening bullish ignited, okay? Off of that rejection, the buyers are buying it up, It closed right there. Buyers are continuing with an ignited open, coming back up, but they just got rejected. There they got rejected back down, okay? So you see now how it's coming right back down. So any other day, if this was just 5 minutes trading like this, we're just still in this consolidation, regardless whether COMEX market open or we got news. They're just trading in this consolidation. I would technically be waiting if it was 2 p.m. Eastern right now and we were trading in the mid-afternoon. I'd be waiting to see again what's going on. Okay, so higher low, higher low. There is buyers continuing to push it up. We got 4 more minutes, then we're running right into that 8:30 news. Okay, then that's where you might see a big volume. You might see a big bullish candle breakout. You might see a bearish candle go down. We can see what it does. What structure is it taking out? Where did it pick up orders? What liquidity did it take out? All of these things. Is anyone in a trade right now in gold? Anyone buying, selling? I know that there's going to be some buyers. There's going to be sellers. It's trading. I understand. I know how it works, but waiting till after the news, Lookman, Omar, no? Guys, awesome. We got over 300 viewers. Thank you guys so much. You guys hitting the like button is making this happen, guys. I truly appreciate this. The more we do this, guys, the more I want to do marathons. The more I want to do 6-hour sessions, 8-hour sessions. Just thank you, guys. We truly appreciate it. Okay, so we got, again, a higher low. We got a bullish candle coming right back up. Got some indecision. Okay, so again, what I look at too is, did it take out any highs? Okay, right there, we got tweezer top highs. Okay, look at it. It's equal with that high and that high, triple top highs at 3307.63. Okay, so they're holding it down currently. Okay, with this volume, can it break out for that new higher high? In order to continue to go high, we have to break out of this. Like if I was in a buy, you know what I always say, oh my God, how did we not break those tweezer top highs? That's exactly what's happening right now. But I'm watching, I'm not actually in the buy, okay? And I'm not in a sell. But I see up there, it came up multiple times. We got triple top highs, triple tweezer tops, equal highs. They're holding it down prior to the news, okay? Now we got 2 more minutes. It's coming right back up. Will it just break for a new high? Because sometimes you have to break for a new high in order to continue to move back up, okay? Because if they don't, they're holding it down for a reason currently. Trading can be very technical. If you want to make it technical, some traders don't do what I do, and that's fine. Okay, they just get in a buy and they close their eyes and they place it and they don't even look at the charts. That's less anxiety, for sure, less emotions. I would love to just take a trade, shut my phone, and just go outside for a couple hours and come back. I can't do that. Sorry, that's not the type of trader I'm. I gotta watch every single candle. I'm a scalper. Okay, so, most of us maybe are on the sidelines. We're still watching. I'm watching. Are they going to break for a new high? Because then that can help me understand maybe when they drop the news that maybe it wants to continue to go to the upside. Okay, and then I look for maybe a liquidity grab. Maybe they come down quickly on the news. It's good news. They take out the pending orders, then they're going up. Then maybe I'll trade up with it. Okay, 45 seconds to go. And remember, we're going to get multiple red folders coming out here in the US. Okay, so coming out in just a couple minutes, 40 seconds. Canadian news, yes. Core PCE price index, employment cost index, and weekly unemployment claims is all coming out. Okay, and you see we're still kind of consolidating right in here. What I can do now is like move my consolidated box a little higher now and consider all of this shit consolidated. Okay. We're not going to stay in this zone for a long time. We're either going to break to the downside or we're going to break a little bit to the upside. But we also got to watch for fake outs too, above here and below here for fake outs. Okay, and look at it. It's a spin top, kind of just trading back inside here. There's the close. Okay, so here's the news. Bearish ignited drop. Watch in case there's a big wick rejection, or is it going to break these lows? Okay, so it's bearish coming down. Will it take out these lows? Yes. So it took out the lows. They trapped all of those buyers up there. They're bringing it down. Let's see what's going on now. Are they going to bring it down further? Where will this news 5-minute candle close? Can we, if it closes down here, can we sell a pullback off of it? Maybe it came down there and it's coming right back up. Again, guys, just let's just watch this. Okay. There's nothing wrong with watching. Okay. Look at that. It came all the way down. Hanging man candle, can they flip the head? And this could be a breakout and take out those 3 top wicks. Okay, so sometimes, look at it came right back to the bearish ignited open. They held it down. It was a dragonfly doji candle. That's where it came virtually right to the open, but it just didn't. Oh, there it is. Okay, now it flashed blue. So now we can possibly break out with this. Let's see. Maybe we'll come back up and ready to break out. This is those candles that you can take impulse. I'm going in on a buy. It came down, grabbed the liquidity, and I'm going in on a buy on the news. There it is. Already in quick profit. As a 1-minute scalper, sometimes that's all I need. There's 17 pips. Okay, you know what I mean? Sometimes when you're looking for a fast little scalp, that's it there, okay? But now let's see, maybe we can drive through this red line and start to trade into some points of interest, okay? Where's points of interest? Maybe 50% of that bearish candle could be next resistance up there. Also, okay, that's just the initial move. Can we get volume closing above this consolidated zone that we've been watching? Okay, but that was it came down, grabbed the liquidity. Soon as it breaks those 3 top highs, that's where you can buy 1-minute scalper and you get 17 pips, right? Now we're coming right back up, filling near the high. Soon as it goes a little higher, you can go to a break even up 20 pips and you can do an 80-20 rule right there. I'm going to a break even and I'm closing out 80%. There, that's it. welcome to the world of scalping. Closed out 80% at the highest point up there. I closed out at that top wick and I got 20% running. Okay, that's it. Closed out 20 pips at 80% up there and got 20% running. Okay, just waiting patiently and getting paid. That's it. I did that with a standard lot size. Total was $200 and I took out $160 on 80%. That's it. That's someone's daily wage working 10 hours all day at work. That's $160, $200 US taken out. That's someone's daily wage in Canada. And just following what it did, guys. Like, that's textbook scalp right there. How much drawdown? Zero. Zero drawdown. That's why I like taking those with larger lot sizing, because I look for, and you see, if you don't do anything, shit like this can happen. Now we got some volatility. Okay, so that's why I'm happy I took 80%, and now my 20% got hit at break even. I'm fine with that. Okay, but I still took some money out of the market, right? Now you got to wait for the body to close. Okay, so if you're still in this, we got to wait to see where it will close. Oh shit, James, you can't close until 5 minutes after the news. Yeah, that sucks. But it could also be a good rule to teach you discipline not to trade news. I understand that completely. Okay, so I'm just going to remove this. I'm no longer in that trade. Hopefully I broke that down to you guys, how to scalp. Now, look at it. It's an indecision candle. Came all the way down there, came all the way back up. Look at where the volume is. It's still kind of in this box here. Let's take a look at the news before this thing closes. What were the actual results of everything? Okay, core PCE came in exactly with forecast, above previous. That's good. Employment cost index, good. Came in above forecast, meeting last previous employment cost. Unemployment claims are lower than the forecast, a little higher, so a little higher than last week, saying no big change. Personal income is up and personal spending is down. Okay, that's good. Those are good. Not bad results, okay? Okay, but let's follow this volume, okay? So let's follow where it will close. Do you guys have any questions about that quick scalp? Any questions, or you guys understood what I did there? Okay, so we did close above, right? Above this zone where all of this was happening, all of that resistance, we did close above. So if we get a pullback, if you missed out on this candle, then, you got to wait patiently for a pullback back down into here, okay? It might come down, it might not. This might continue driving, okay? But if you want to learn how to patiently wait for a pullback, unfortunately, you got to kind of wait where this, right here, where this red line was, where it was that tweezer top highs, that could be now support going forward. 3307 could be a possible buy. Okay, it might come even deeper down into here, possibility. Okay, like right there. But interesting, it closed near the high above this previous red line. Okay, so that red line was resistance. See how it was support there on that M pattern, turned to resistance. So we closed above it. So now it can turn into momentary support right here. Okay. Sulfula, I did not tell you to buy. I clearly verbally said, guys, I am buying right here. Man, like YouTube, you guys are really, really, really not paying attention, okay? So I clearly said, as soon as it opened bearish, it came down, took out the liquidity. As soon as it came and filled, you saw, I said verbally, I am buying. I also placed the indicator showing you where I bought, stop loss in that. If you can't hear, then get your ears checked. But I verbally said I'm buying. Anyways, I'm not a buy and sell channel. So I don't give a shit whether you listen to me or not. I'm not here to impress you guys with buy and sells. I'm here to educate why I took that buy. Okay, this is personally for me, not for you. Like Dave says, do you want like us to come to your house and spoon feed you like a baby? I wish someone did that when I was learning to trade. I wish someone came to my house and fed me every single day. That's not the way how it works. Got to do a little leg work. You know, when you go to the gym, you got to work out your legs. You can't have little chicken legs. Okay, you got to work them out. Same with here in trading. You got to do some work. You got to do some leg work. You said it very quickly. It's scalping. Holy shit. Okay, guys, I don't know if I can continue to do this on YouTube. See what I mean? You can't teach how to scalp because nobody understands what I'm doing. So that's why. And then someone says, Ron, let's go to the 1 minute. How can I do the 1 minute when you don't even understand the 5 minute or listen to what I'm saying? When it came up there, I verbally said, I'm in a buy. I'm closing out 80%. I got... If you can't execute, there's nothing I can do then. Why are we even scalping the markets? Let's go on a 4-hour candle and let's just look at the 4-hour candle. We can do that. I don't know. I give up on YouTube. I swear. I told Dave this last week. I give up on YouTube. I can't do this anymore. I'm losing my mind, guys. I'm losing my mind. And I'm here to just try and help you guys. And you're making this so difficult. I don't know what to do or to say anymore. Anyways, let's get back to this because we got to get to NASDAQ and US 30 very, very soon. So if you were looking for a pullback buy, there it is. Did I have to tell you to buy here, or did you see when I said, did you listen? You should be having a pullback entry at 3307, right back in there. If you see it came in there, there's your execution. You would be in profit right now with zero drawdown. Had you listened to me right there, you'd be up possibly 20 pips right now. There was the pullback where I said that red line was that wick, and that wick. When we closed above, that red line turns to support. That body of that candle came all the way down. It hit that support. It hit those pending orders, and now you got a bullish pin bar turning into a hammer candle. If you can't learn from that, I don't know how to teach you. I teach this to my 9-year-old daughter, and she understands this. If you cannot get this, I can't help you. I can teach my daughter this. She's 9 years old. She understands this. If you're a grown adult and you don't understand what I'm saying or get it, I don't know how else to help you. I'm sorry. Go to a different YouTube channel and get someone else to teach you this. I can't. I'm lost. I give up. You know when you wave the white flag, that's me giving up. You guys have turned someone who's very passionate about educating about the trading into someone who hates this now. Like, that's the honest to God truth. It didn't have to be like this, but this is how it is. It's like, I don't know what else to do. Yeah, guys, like with YouTube, guys, I apologize, but I just can't do this. I don't want to miss Wall Street with NASDAQ and US 30. I'm going to close YouTube for now. I'll come back tomorrow, but I hate this negativity and shit like this. So I'm going to go with the Zoom and I just got to get out of this for now. Okay. So I appreciate YouTube. Not to those that are there, contributing on a daily basis. I do respect you guys, but with this shit, it's just silly. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. But this is ridiculous.